questions? Any questions to the subjects?
Well, that's not a question. I was going to say that I've never seen anything that's so like creative, just bring a bunch of young, older Haitians just together like that. I'm just really impressed. I really, really like it. I just wanted to say thank you for doing it, and I hope you just add a whole bunch of other people in it. But it's just really good. It's just I'm blown away. Thank you.
Yeah.
I wish I was Haitian.
That's the idea. But you're Haitian by association.
Is this something that you're going to continue maybe into other Haitian artists or?
Yeah.
What was the question?
No, her question was, is this something I'm going to continue doing? And I said, yeah, it's taking me longer and longer to do it because I've become more, I guess, ambitious with how I put them together. You know, when I did the first one, when I did Mel and Smax's video, we did it in one night. And you know, I didn't really know what I was doing. I just told them to just be themselves and then perform some songs for me, and you know, and then from Chuck it became this like, you know, let's do a more formal photo shoot and then you know document him doing his work and him talking about the experience of being a comic book artist in the industry. Because he told with Chuck he told me a really interesting story, which was like, because his last name is Collins. You know, when people see it on paper, it's one thing, but when he goes into his interviews, it's like, oh, you're black. It's like, and you know, and he talked about how he had to prove himself in that industry, which is a very, like, what were you saying? Like,
in my defense, I was really tired when that was being done. I worked the night before. No, it was more on the line of, it's an industry run by mostly Caucasians, so you would have to really prove yourself, because everybody has a particular way that they think that black people should be. I'm the only person of color in the studio, so I have to be the person. And if you hear me speak, I have a deep voice, so every time I say something or I give advice or I give some kind of input on something, it's sort of like, why do you sound like you're angry right now? It's my genetics, my voice is this. But that it became a thing because I met some really cool people, and then I also met a couple of people who were very, I guess you would say, intimidated by my presence. It was more like, what are you doing here? Why are you here? Like, this is for us, this ain't for you. And there is an aspect of this conscious racism that goes with that, but there's also a lack of knowledge and understanding and education on their part. Right. And the environment that they grew up in, they're just not used to that. So breaking into that particular industry, it's very challenging. It's not to say that we're not in there. There's a lot of black people that work in animation, but it can get very challenging. That's what I was trying to say, but I was really tired.
yeah, but I was saying, yeah, I plan on continuing this project. It's just doing it by myself has been hard, and I've been thinking about applying for grants to
Do it.
get money.
Yeah.
So I can actually hire people to help me with this, and I would love to travel to Haiti and do something on.
Where do I sign? Where do I sign?
Why don't you start anything local before you start? In the meantime.
Kickstarter.
I wanted to do the traditional route first because there's a couple of grants that, you know, for people of color that are out there that I'm trying to apply for, but it's a little like.
How much you looking for to build up?
The budget part is my budget is the issue I'm trying to figure out.
That's the first thing.
So
Get the budget.
What do you plan on doing?
Huh?
What do you plan on doing?
That's, I mean, because I'm very much a person of the internet, so like, you know, I would like to make this more of an official online series and maybe get some sort of backing that to keep doing it. I mean, but the thing is, there's also a photography component to it, so I would like to exhibit some of the work as a sort of traveling sort of exhibition, like the way that there's a photographer I know who did a book on afros, and he's turned this into like a traveling exhibition. Yeah, his name is Michael July, and he did his book on afros, and basically has ended up exhibiting the work throughout the country. So that's another component that, yes.
How did you pick your subjects? Like Harry, for instance. Why Harry?
Well, Harry, I've known Harry since in my previous life, I was a music journalist. So he used to email me and call me when I worked for one of Vibe's magazines that doesn't exist anymore, back in 2000. Harry was one of those people publicists that would hit me up like, hey Rich, KRS-One has a new thing coming out, and I'd be like, this is good, he's hitting me up, and then I ended up meeting him, and we just kind of maintained a relationship throughout the years. And then, well, Melis Max, I wouldn't have met them if it wasn't for Paul Gwen, who I talked about, who has his own group that I featured in. So I've been doing a long documentary. I don't even know if it's going to be anything. I've been shooting them since 2010. And I wouldn't have met them if it wasn't for that person. So I met them last year, actually. And actually, I mean, I mistakenly thought Mel was Haitian, but she's actually Dominican, but it's all the same. We're all the same. Yeah, so. All right, so any other questions?
Good job, Rich. Yeah. Great job.
You can call people if you need help.
What?
You can call people if you need help.
But I want to